Be Wealthy and Smart, episode 742.
Step into a world of wealth and financial freedom without budgets, boredom, or bosses on Be Wealthy and Smart. And now, here's your host, Linda P. Jones.
Welcome to Be Wealthy and Smart. I'm Linda P. Jones, America's Wealth Mentor, empowering women and men worldwide to financial freedom. On today's show, we're going to talk about home renovation trends because Houzz, one of my favorite websites, HOUZZ.com, did a 2020 House and Home survey, and it's an overview of U.S. renovation from 2019 and 2020. And it's really interesting to see some of the trends, hear how much money people have spent, and you can kind of compare and see if you've already done some renovations, how yours fit into what other people have done, or if you're thinking of doing some renovations, maybe it might give you some ideas about what other people have done or are doing. And I will take a link and put it in the show notes so you can look at this whole entire survey. It's really nicely done. It has beautiful pictures all throughout. It's kind of laid out like a magazine, and it looks really attractive. So I encourage you to go on over and click through the show notes to my website where you can read this article. But basically, Houzz did this survey all about renovations, and here's what it says. Older generations drive renovation activity. Baby Boomer and Gen X homeowners accounted for 85% of those renovating on Houzz in 2019, up from 83% in the prior year. The rest were largely millennials, whose share declined from 14% in 2018 to 12% in 2019. Overall home renovation activity remained stable year over year, with 54% of homeowners reporting a renovation project in 2019 and tackling nearly 3 interior rooms on average. The mix of renovation activities and project types remained consistent with recent years, with kitchens and bathrooms continuing to lead in popularity. Median renovation spend, however, declined from $15,000 in 2018 to $13,000 in 2019, owing to a reduction in average project scope as well as slightly fewer projects per homeowner. While kitchens and guest bathrooms remained the most popular rooms to renovate, 27% for kitchens and 25% for guest bathrooms, home offices were added or upgraded by 1 in 10 homeowners in 2019. Millennials and Gen Xers were more likely to pursue a home office project, 11% each, than were baby boomers, 9%. Subsequent surveys have shown that over half of homeowners who were in the midst of a project at the start of the pandemic were able to continue with renovations. That said, some homeowners have opted to delay certain elective renovations due to implications related to social contact, labor, and material availability, and personal discretionary spending. Maintenance and repairs, on the other hand, are more likely to proceed, especially when the need is urgent. Deferred maintenance will accrue during this period, setting the stage for a renewed burst of activity following the pandemic. Then it goes on to talk about median renovation spend falls modestly in 2019. Although median spend on home renovations decreased to $13,000 in 2019 compared with $15,000 in the 2 previous years, it is still higher than the national planned spend, $10,000 for 2019, as reported in 2018. The decrease is consistent with a modest decline from 2018 to 2019 in the average number of projects undertaken by renovating homeowners, as well as a decline in project scope. The mix of projects was consistent with previous years, with 59% decorating, 54% renovating, and 3% building homes in 2019. Consistent with prior years, in early 2020, half of homeowners on Houzz plan to continue or start renovations during the year, 51%, with a planned median spend of $10,000 per renovating homeowner. However, given the impact of the coronavirus pandemic, these numbers may have shifted. Then we get into 2019 total spend, financing, and motivations. It says nearly 2 in 3 renovating homeowners spent more than $10,000 on their home renovation in each of the past 3 years. In 2019, the share of those spending less than $10,000 increased slightly, but overall, the spend ranges remained very similar to 2018. Cash was by far the most common form of home renovation funding, 83%, even in projects with more significant spend, over $50,000. The next most common source of funding was credit cards, 38%, which were more popular among those with lower expenditures between $1,000 and $5,000. Home loans, secured or unsecured, as well as home sales proceeds, gifts and inheritances, and insurance payouts were all more common in larger projects. Tax refunds were only used by 6% of renovators. And here are reasons for renovating. 3 of the most common triggers for home renovation remain nearly unchanged in 2019 compared with the previous year. Longtime homeowners wanting to do it all along continue to be the top 57% driver of home renovations, while customizing a recently bought home, 24%, was slightly down from 2018, and planning to sell a home, 11%, was unchanged. Triggers related to damage to the home, whether due to routine causes, 17%, or natural disasters, 6%, were also almost unchanged from the previous year, as were renovations owing to changes in lifestyle, 16%. Gearing up for a renovation in 2019 took homeowners longer than it did to actually renovate. While construction took between 2.7 and 4.5 months, on average, for different types of projects, the planning phase took about twice that long. Kitchens require lengthier planning, averaging 8.3 months, compared with master and guest bathrooms, 5.4 and 4.8 months, respectively. Surprisingly, entries, foyers, and mudrooms, which typically occupy less square footage, take 6.6 months to plan on average. And this section says it's hard to stay within budget. Keeping a renovation project within budget can be challenging. In 2019, almost 31% of renovating homeowners on house went over budget, while a mere 3% reported coming in below budget. The remainder came within 5% of their budget, 36%, or did not set a budget to begin with, 29%. Those exceeding their budget often did so because products or services were costlier than expected, or because projects were more complex than anticipated. In other cases, budgets were exceeded because of decisions to buy more expensive products or materials than planned. And here are the metro areas for remodeling. Although considerably less than repeat leader San Jose, $26,000, Boston now reports the second highest median renovation spend by metro area, $21,000. These are followed closely by expensive coastal metros, including Los Angeles, Miami, San Diego, and San Francisco, $20,000 each. San Jose maintained its position in the lead at double the national median, $13,000, while San Francisco exhibited one of the largest drops, from $25,000 in 2018 to $20,000 in 2019, and New York fell from the top 5. Houston, New Orleans, and Washington all fell out of the top 10, while Phoenix and Austin made fresh appearances on the list. The Nashville, Tennessee metro area topped the chart with the largest increase in homeowners' renovation spend, 50%, followed by San Diego, 33%, Minneapolis, 27%, Birmingham, Alabama, 25%, and Austin, Texas, 20%, and Raleigh, North Carolina, 20%. At the other extreme, Providence, Rhode Island saw the most extreme decrease of any metro, 57%, closely followed by New Orleans, 53%, Hartford, Connecticut, 50%, and Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 40%. The majority of the top 50 metros in the country were within just $2,000 of the national median or below it. Now here are the popular projects to spend on. Interior room remodels continue to be the most common renovation project among homeowners, 70%, followed by home system and exterior upgrades, 62% and 57% respectively. The average renovating homeowner tackled nearly 3 interior room remodels and or 3 room additions. The average number of projects per homeowner has been trending downward slightly in most categories since 2017. And it says 1 in 10 homeowners adds or renovates a home office. As in previous years, kitchens were the most prevalent room to be remodeled, 26%, followed by guest/other bathrooms, 24%, and master bathrooms and living/family rooms, both 20%. Among additions, the most common rooms were master bathrooms, closets, and laundry rooms, 2% each. Home offices were addressed by 1 in 10 renovating homeowners on Houzz. Following 2018's spike in median kitchen remodel spend, 2019 returned to levels closer to previous years at $12,000 for kitchen remodels, reflecting a shift toward minor renovations. Typical spending increased slightly within the major kitchen remodel category, especially for smaller kitchens. The median spend on master bathroom remodels held steadily. The most common home system upgrades were plumbing, 29%, and electrical, 26%. Home security upgrades dropped slightly from 18% in 2018 to 17% in 2019. 1 in 9 homeowners upgraded their home entertainment system with a median spend of $800. The most common exterior building upgrades in 2019 involved roofing, 21%, exterior paint, 21%, and window skylights, 21%, with exterior doors, 19%, and gutters/downspouts, 18%, not far behind. With the exception of small decreases in roofing, exterior paint and gutter/downspouts, exterior building materials, maintained their frequency levels from 2018. Roofing and windows/skylights remained the most expensive exterior upgrades, with $8,000 and $3,900 median spends, respectively. Beds and borders remained the focus for outdoor upgrades, 28%, followed by lawn and fence improvements, 18% and 16%, respectively. Outdoor security continued to climb in popularity, with 1 in 8 homeowners making upgrades, 13%. Less common types of outdoor upgrades included built-in kitchens, 2%, and audiovisual media, 4%. Overall, pro hiring has been stable in the last 3 years, and homeowners are continuing to hire more than one professional on average. Design-related pros, often hired by homeowners irrespective of renovations, were hired by 1 in 5 renovating homeowners. Among homeowners who renovated their homes, specialty service providers were the most commonly hired renovation professionals, followed by construction professionals. The mix of hiring across various renovation trades in 2019 was remarkably similar to the mix in 2018. Among renovating homeowners on Houzz, 26% hired a general contractor, making it the single most popular choice among construction professionals hired. Now we get into what generation actually spent more. The ranks of renovating homeowners on Houzz are dominated by baby boomers and Gen Xers. These two generations jointly comprised 85% of those renovating in 2019, up from 83% the prior year. Although millennials account for a relatively large share of the U.S. population, 20%, they account for a smaller share of homeowners renovating, just 12%, down from 14% the previous year. The median millennial homeowner spent $10,000 on renovations in 2019, compared with $12,000 for Gen Xers and $15,000 for baby boomers. Among the top 10% of spenders, changes indicate rising expenditures among Gen Z, up 90%, and millennials, up 8.3%, a modest decline among Gen X, down 3.5%, and steeper declines among baby boomers, down 11.1%, and seniors, down 18.8%. Younger homeowners were more likely than other homeowners to report using cash from savings and credit cards, as well as gifts to fund renovations. Older homeowners were more likely to rely on cash from a previous home sale. Secured home loans were unique among the funding sources in that Gen Xers were more likely, 17%, to report using them. At least half of homeowners of all generations cited wanting to do it all along as their motivation for renovating. Wanting to customize a recently bought home, on the other hand, was a more common motivation among younger homeowners. That is consistent with younger homeowners being more likely to have moved recently. Older homeowners were less likely to go over budget, and only a small fraction of homeowners of any age remained under budget. Living and family room renovations were more common among younger homeowners. Indeed, 27% of millennial renovations featured the living or family room, compared with only 21% of baby boomer renovations. Master bathroom renovations were most common among Gen Z and seniors, but less common in the generations between them. Millennials were most concerned with automation and security, in which older generations were less inclined to invest. Online searches for home improvement products were highly popular among every generation to the tune of about 90%. While this likely reflects the online nature of the survey, it is worth noting that differences across generations were remarkably small. Seniors 75 or older reported rates of online research similar to those of younger generations. While all generations hired help at quite similar rates, older generations were slightly more inclined to do so. Among baby boomers, 89% hired a pro in 2019, compared with 84% of millennials. The gap in hiring pros showed up in figures for specialty trades as well as construction professional and design-related pros. Most homeowners who renovated in 2019 subsequently decorated their homes. The share of decorators was greatest among Gen Z and millennial homeowners, 82%, and lower for Gen Xers, 75%, and baby boomers, 64%. Younger generations' greater appetite for decoration showed up indoors as well as outdoors. Now here are the popular purchases. Light fixtures were the most popular home technology purchase as part of home renovations in 2019, and 1 in 10 was a smart light, 11%. That said, smart light fixtures fell from 30% of all light fixture purchases in 2018 to just 22% in 2019, the sharpest drop among any home technology category. Outdoor product purchases were led by security cameras, 17%, with 2 in 5 of those purchases having smart technology, 20%. The frequency of wireless doorbell cameras increased from 11% to 13%. Paint was the most popular product, purchased by 67% of renovating homeowners, followed by light fixtures, 52%, faucets and shower heads, 48%, and lawn and garden supplies, 44%. The products most commonly researched online tended to be appliances and standalone items such as bathtubs and fireplaces. Those least likely to be researched online included building materials and lawn and garden supplies, as well as paint and roofing. The frequency of holiday decor purchases increased from 26% in 2018 to 28% in 2019. Pillows and throws, rugs, and large furniture held steady year over year and remained the most common interior decor purchases. Lighting and large furniture remained the most common outdoor products. Okay, and then the rest of the report goes into their methodology, how they did the report, how they did the sampling, what all the demographics are, whether they're married, what their education level was, what their incomes were, and so on. So there's a lot of statistics here about who they polled, where they polled them, city by city. There's a lot of extra information here. So if you have interest in that, this is a really great report to read, and I recommend that you do that. So really interesting to read about all the home remodeling and how much people spent. You can compare your own notes from your remodel perhaps to what other people did and how much they spent for theirs. And again, I will leave a link in the show notes so you can click through and see this beautiful report. If you haven't yet subscribed to Be Wealthy and Smart, hit the subscribe button and you'll be notified as soon as new podcasts are available so you never miss one of them. And I want to remind you that my book, You're Already a Wealth Heiress, now has an audiobook version available on Amazon and other audiobook outlets. And don't forget, we have our Summer Sizzle contest going on with 25 prizes being given away. You can win 5 of my physical You're Already a Wealth Heiress books signed by me, and that book was named to the list of all-time best wealth books by Book Authority. You can also win one of 10 of my Wealthy Mindset Blueprint audio sets valued at $197. And 5 people will win a half-hour wealth mentoring session with me. All you need to do is leave a podcast review on iTunes, and you'll be entered into the drawing one time. And if you've read the Wealth Heiress book, leave a book review on Amazon, and that will get your name in the drawing 2 times. and winners will be announced on August 30th. That's all for today. Until next time, live the good life and be wealthy and smart.
Thank you for listening to Be Wealthy and Smart with Linda P. Jones. Share the wealth and tell your family and friends about the show. Check out our website, blog, and social media for more riches at www.bewealthyandsmart.com.